Hi, I'm out here to give a testimonial today in this beautiful setting about the death of my father and the benefits and the uses of medical marijuana for him at the end of his life. My father was a very brave man, very strong man, and he was a very conservative man. He was diagnosed with melanoma last year, April. They found it in his brain. And after that, he went ahead and started his chemotherapy treatments and things along those nature.
This is harder, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little bit harder. He was diagnosed with melanoma in the spring of 2009. He fought hard. From that point on, my father started fighting. He was a decorated veteran in the war, Vietnam. He battled hard. He fought hard. Cancer was not something that we ever expected. We don't have any cancer in our family. It's not anything that should have ever happened to us. So he began his treatments. Chemotherapy first was an oral treatment, a pill they gave him, and we thought it might be hope. They told us with melanoma there's no chemotherapies that worked. So my dad, being the fighter he was, thought, well, I'm going to do whatever I can to live, and decided to take the chemotherapy. It was hard. The first round of it really was not too terrible, but they say with chemotherapy it comes in stages. As he took his second round and third round, the effects became more and more obvious. Loss of appetite, lack of thought concentration, loss of weight. He weighed about 200, I want to say between 2 and 220, and there at the end he weighed 120 pounds, I think. And I don't know if that's exactly the numbers, but it's something close to that. It was enough of a change that my dad that I knew looked like a man that was wearing skin on a skeleton. It's the best way I can describe it. I came to him with the idea of smoking marijuana as a benefit, as a way for him to maybe. And let me preface this by saying my dad would never ever in a million years think about using marijuana. My mom and his oncologist both said that, at the end it was probably time for him to try and find some sort of way to get some nutrition in his body, some help to him. His oncologist suggested that he try and find some marijuana somewhere. I'm his son. I smoke marijuana. I use it daily. So I approached my father with it several times, always telling me no, always saying no, I'm not, I can't do that. He was afraid. He quit smoking cigarettes about 6 years ago, and he was afraid that if he smoked marijuana, that he would want to start smoking cigarettes again. That obviously is not the case. So after about a month, this is after oral chemotherapy, injected chemotherapy. He was diagnosed in 2009. In December, I think it was a little after Christmas, he decided to smoke with me. Took my mom and me, and he had some friends there, some time to talk him into it. But he did it, and he said he didn't like it. But immediately following, his demeanor changed. You could see his color change. I left shortly thereafter. I didn't want to feel like I had done something wrong, like offering it to him. But he took it. Mom said he ate very well that night. And the next day he called. And both him and Mom, I think, were on the phone. I don't really remember. And they asked if I'd come back and I'd bring him some more. So I did. He didn't like smoking it. I bought a vaporizer. And I tried giving him straight vape. Didn't really like that. The effects were there. He was eating. His color looked good. And I felt I was helping him in some way.
Breathe.
So, yeah, he had asked if there was any other way he could take it. Told him I could make some brownies or cookies or make butter, and he could put it in just about anything he ate. I talked to a friend of mine, and he told me about these pills that were going around, and so we found them, and he started taking them. One in the morning, one in the evening, sometimes one in the afternoon. Before company would come over, before my sisters would come down and visit, he'd take a pill. So it would, so he'd feel better. So he'd feel like talking and chatting and being jovial. So I know he thought there at the end it was working for him. The problem with my dad was we didn't start doing that stuff till about 2 months before he died. He died in February. We started in December. It was an abdominal cancer that blocked his intestines. So the last couple months of his life, his intestines were really blocked, and he wasn't getting any nutrients. So I think by me switching to the pills there at the end, I took something away from him, because I didn't continue to make him smoke it, because he would have got the benefits faster, more benefits. But that's neither here nor there. I don't know if that was good or bad for me to switch to that, but he threw up constantly. So he just wasn't getting any nutrients, food, things along those lines, it just wasn't working at the end. The end was rough. The last couple of months was not fun. And, but there were times there that, he was dad again, and that was close to the end. And so there are benefits of medical marijuana. I won't say, there are benefits. And my dad is a Vietnam veteran, someone who would never, ever do this in his life. The last of his life, he was fighting for something to help him. And he found something, I think, that he would have never thought he would have ever have used. And I feel a little guilty about that, and I think he may feel a little guilty about that. But I don't want him to, and I don't want to. I don't want to feel like I made my dad a criminal. So if it was on a ballot somewhere today, in my state, anywhere, I would vote to pass medical marijuana. I myself would vote to pass any kind of marijuana legislation that came up. But people like my mother and my father and other people across this nation who are suffering the effects of cancer and need to use something to help them should not look or feel like they're criminals. That's about all I have to say on that.